do not have to work in companies that you're aware of. Many of us are entrepreneurs. Many of us are freelancers. Stop asking us how we can afford the phones we use, the cars we drive. We work hard. Go and work hard. Stop harassing us. Stop extorting us. That's all we want. And that's why we're here right now, because we want SARS to stop.
Stop harassing us. Stop extorting us. Very powerful words.
Yes.
Very, very powerful words. That's by the way, that's a report from CNN. Coverage of CNN's coverage of the NSAS movement.
Yeah.
If you are just hearing that for the first time, maybe you've been living under a rock or wherever you are in the world, you've not heard about it. But NSAS, the whole. Oh, okay, before we forget, this is still the Tech Point Africa podcast, and my name is Muiwa.
My name is Oluwanifemi.
I'm Emmanuel.
Yeah, so NSAS, End Police Brutality, the whole gist. I think everything started last week.
Yes.
With increasing cases of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad.
SARS.
Stopping. Yeah, SARS. Stopping
ironic.
People randomly, checking their phones, telling them to go to their ATMs and withdraw cash for them, killing some people, and then
asking what they do for a living.
A living, exactly. And say, how can you afford this car and all of that? So, I mean, that's what has been going on. And of course, because this is like the fourth year running now that the NSAS hashtag has been going on. And every year, the government says, oh, we have disbanded them, we have done this,
And
but nothing happens. So now
they
people are
usually
tired.
do this
Everything is organic.
when there is an outcry like this, just to make people to go back and feel like they are on our side. They've got this.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, it's just promises and promises.
But now the youth are just so tired. They are so tired of everything, and now we've been protesting on the streets for almost 2 weeks. I think it started last week.
Yes, it's going into the second week now.
And the government is having their hands full. Crazy stuff. Really,
yes,
really,
nobody
really
expected
amazing
it.
stuff.
Nobody expected it. The thing is, with Nigerians revolting when something happens, like maybe there's a fuel subsidy or there is ASU strike or something is not going wrong. One of the things that comes to a Nigerian mind, especially a young person, is like, I don't want to be at the forefront so that I will not be armed, I will not be killed. And that thing happens in schools too.
Exactly.
Maybe during Aluta.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to go out. But now everybody is no longer safe. So they just made the resolve that let me just go out. If I get killed, fine. Because eventually if I don't do anything, I will still get killed. So I think that is like the power behind what is going on now, and nobody expected it. Even the youth, they didn't expect this. They just started and felt, let's do something. But now it has become so real that yes, something can come out of this.
It's okay. So I think a few weeks before the protest started, where the SARS operatives were misbehaving. So
as usual,
I started recalling how this SARS thing has been going on like over the years. Each year it's a repeated thing and all that. So, but this particular protest, the way it has turned out is very, very organic. You don't know who is leading who. It does not have a head or a tail. It's
exactly.
That is like my very, very, very idea of how a revolution should look like or a protest should look like.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's even more amazing? When people try to come out like, oh, we are the face of this or we're the leaders, everybody's shutting them off, shutting them down.
Yeah.
Even politicians are trying to ride on it. The revolution now, all of them, everybody's shutting them down. No leaders. We don't want leaders.
Emmanuel mentioned something earlier in the week. I think it's the quote of a famous writer also, that if you want the end of a revolution, show me the face of the person behind it. And I think that is why this has gone this far, because there's nobody that can be held. Nobody can be called and be told what to do, and the person will come back and tell people this is what the resolve we've made, so go back. And that is what has been causing the end of any NSAS protests that have happened in the past, because there's somebody that can be negotiated with, and they will now come that let's calm down for them. They can now do something about it. But this time 2020 is a year.
And it's just so amazing to see that social media Because when it first started, it looked like another social media thing, another social media campaign. But now it has gone into the streets all over Nigeria, outside Nigeria, people in diaspora protest everywhere.
2 days ago, Jack does the CEO of Twitter.
Yeah, it surprised us.
And my mind was blown. Like, no, this is happening.
He even called for people to make contributions, Bitcoin contributions, because apparently there were rumors that, Heritage, you wrote about that. There were rumors that the CBN shut down the Flutterwave link that people were donating money to.
Yeah, so I mean, the whole donation thing started when I think on the 6th of October or the 4th. So Flutterwave, in the beginning, right, through their employees, they donated around 2 million to these protesters, right? Then they opened up to the public, for
2 million naira.
2 million naira, 2 million naira to the public. They opened up to the public to, get more funds for people that were getting arrested, people that were getting injured, and all that. So it became a big thing. They got about 10 million in the space of 1 week, and everything. Then, 2 days ago, we heard that the CBN called them. The CBN called them to answer for some accusations that were leveled against them, that they were being funded by terrorists. They were, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it was just funny. But we reached out to them and they said nothing like that happened, right? So we don't know if it's out of fear that they said nothing like
Flutterwave.
that. Yeah, Flutterwave. Yeah, we reached out to Flutterwave asking if they were being summoned by the CBN or the government or anything like that. They said, nothing like that happened. That was just their servers were going on maintenance, and it's just a maintenance issue.
Yeah.
So they said when the link is up.
But now people have switched to Bitcoin.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So after, normally it was just wire transfers, and fiat money and everything. But after that Flutterwave issue, we just moved to Bitcoin immediately. The Feminist Coalition group, which is like one of the spearheaders of this movement, just started receiving via blockchain.com and Zencash. So it just became very interesting that people started moving money through Bitcoin, and it looks like, what we saw online, that this thing might actually bring mass adoption of Bitcoin in the country and all that. So we have to watch out for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think this is just a coincidence, because it was around the same time that Flutterwave donation link started acting up, or as they said, is under maintenance. It was the same time the Feminist Coalition donation account also started having issue. It was blocked and that one started before Flutterwave. Before Flutterwave's link was open. So I don't know if it's just a coincidence. So I don't know. Probably they are not willing
the Feminist Coalition
to
was linked
about
to
it.
Flutterwave. I don't know if you understand. So the donation link was being moved to the Feminist Coalition was in charge of the money that was being donated through the Flutterwave donation link. I don't know if you understand. Exactly. So when that
but the Feminist Coalition started receiving donation before Flutterwave came on board. I can recall
definitely.
vividly.
Yeah, true.
Because it started,
okay, so you're saying
they could have easily just created a Flutterwave pay link. Anyone can create a Flutterwave pay link.
Exactly.
To receive money. So maybe they just it's still what Heritage is saying is still linked to Flutterwave.
Exactly.
In some way. So maybe the rumors have some truth to it, but Flutterwave just chose to deny it, because there were also rumors, but unfounded rumors. I think Emmanuel reported on that, where the chairman of Flutterwave, Tunde Lemo, a former CBN assistant governor, if I'm not mistaken, claimed that he was the one that told Flutterwave to take down the link.
Yeah, because of possible cases of financing terrorism. So, I don't know.
That's so ridiculous. It's ridiculous to hear that.
So ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous to hear that.
Yeah, it's
funny. You know what is so interesting right now? Of course, it started with end SARS, end police brutality, and then they said SARS was disbanded as usual, and then they said, they've created SWAT, and then people switched to end SWAT because they're like, SWAT is just another name for SARS.
It's a recurring trend in Nigeria now.
And end SWAT became the second most trending hashtag after NSAS, like in the space of one day.
Yes, like
Exactly.
immediately.
Exactly.
Immediately. And the interesting thing is that I don't know, maybe they feel the internet, as you've said on Tech Point articles before, the internet we never forget. Because when people now began
Yeah.
searching, they found out that this same IG,
SWAT.
Inspector General of Police, has said something about SWAT sometime in 2019. So it
That was
means that there's already an
2014, in fact.
existing,
They were around in 2014.
in
Oh,
fact,
there's an existing SWAT already.
Yeah, 2014.
you
They're
see.
supposed to be.
So now
Nigeria's supposed to have a SWAT team already now.
it's not as if he's saying it as like it's a new department,
Exactly, yeah.
even though it has been existing. So I don't know. All these are just pointing to like something is fishing somewhere. There's a deceit cooking up.
They don't take
But
us
as it
serious.
is now,
Yeah.
there's no end. They will
Yeah,
soon,
if you guys can remember,
So,
if you guys
but,
can
but
remember,
another question that
okay.
people are asking.
Yeah, if you guys can remember the way it happens with NEPA, they changed name from NEP PLC, NEPA, PHCN, but it's the same company. So
Yeah.
when it was changed to PHCN, the same
Exactly.
problem has changed name. So it's the same
But
problem.
the difference
SARS
between that
with
one
another
and this
title.
one is that SWAT was already an existing entity, or is an existing entity since 2014,
Yeah.
or
Separate from
exactly,
SARS.
separate from SARS. But the way they now did, like Nifemi said, was that as if they just changed the name from SARS to SWAT. Meanwhile, SWAT has been like here since
SWAT is already existing.
time memorial.
existing.
Interesting.
Don't they know
So
we
we have
find
SWAT
out?
2.0. All right.
But one interesting question that keeps coming up is, yes, the protests are very good and it's wonderful to see the energy and all of that. But then, how long should the protests go on? Should they end at some point?
Nah.
And okay, is it possible that the protests at some point will lose direction and focus? How do we, because yes, it's nice to protest and put the pressure on the government, but how do we now ensure a policy change? And that now brings the question of, shouldn't there still be some kind of representatives that can then speak with the government? And I've seen videos of, for example, Davido, the musician, speaking to the IG of police, where he listed the 545 demands. I've seen claims by other people saying, oh, they've spoken, because the question is, if we keep protesting and there's
no headway,
nobody to drive that, so
The
as
thing
much
is,
as we don't want to lead that,
with
because
the
we don't
way
want them to be able to shut it down.
with the way the things are going, it's left for the government to change the style of their communication. If they are bent on speaking with representatives, I doubt they will get that, because if any representative go and listen to them and is coming back to give directives to those that are protesting, they are not open to that. From what we've seen with Davido, with
Then how do you suggest?
so
they should
I'm
just
thinking
How do you
honor
suggest reforms and policies?
demands. I think that's what will bring the progress, because they've not done anything on that
Yes.
list, like
Okay.
specifically.
Okay, but the question is, even if they say they want to honor it, we can't see changes immediately of the 545 demands.
Okay, yes.
The 545 demands,
like they have to do things that
I
will
don't know if
make
you get
them
what I'm saying.
accountable, like
because
Probably
they will still. So
a-
okay, just for the
what's it
case of
called?
people listening, the 545 demands are oh, I'm trying to pull it up. Sorry about it. Go on, Nifemi, what you're saying.
Okay, so we're just looking for an assurance, like a visible assurance that the government can be held for if they refuse to honor it later in the future, not just some papers, something probably
Okay.
pass into law or act or something that will put our mind at rest that something is going to happen.
Okay, let me read the 545 demands. Immediate release of all arrested protesters. So far, that one has not been followed. And it's also nice to see how on Twitter everybody is collaborating.
Yes,
with
professionals.
different lawyers
That one-
volunteering
that
all
one blew my
over the
mind.
country to help. Yeah, so
The
many
one that
lawyers
happened
volunteering and they are
recently,
coordinating everything online, and they are going
that-
to release.
sorry, something happened recently that I think Louds rather attacked people during protest, and they broke people's phone, destroyed cars, and even informal sector, they are pulling up like people that repair phone are saying people should come and repair their phones for free if it's less than
For free?
5,000.
Wow.
Yes, if people
Wow.
are putting up link of their enterprise, mechanics are asking people to come and repair their cars
Chicken
at discounted
Republic.
rates.
Interesting.
Serious,
Chicken
as in that blew
Republic.
my mind. Like I didn't see this come. People are
And all of
cooking
this is
for
from
free.
online translating
Yes,
to offline.
yes.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
nobody
So
expected that.
let me go back to reading the 545 messages. So, immediate release of all protesters, arrested protesters, justice for all deceased victims of police brutality, and appropriate compensation for the families. Now, this one now, yes, the government can commit to it, but you can't see an effect until immediately. You can't
But
see
they are
an
not
effect
committing
immediately.
to it.
But
You
are
have
they
to first,
committed to it?
They are not committing to
they are
anyone
not.
yet now.
Then setting up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution
this
of all
yeah.
reports of police
Exactly.
misconduct within
Nothing.
10 days. Okay. Then, in line with the new Police Act, psychological evaluation and retraining to be confirmed by an independent body. So that's the clause, to be confirmed by an independent body, because so far the government has been showing IGP and the Lagos State governor went to visit the President Buhari. They're showing us videos of them committing to psychological evaluation, but we've not seen anything anyway. And then increase police salary so that they are adequately compensated. Now that one cannot happen immediately, because we need a
At
policy,
least-
for example, with the senators, with how much they earn per month, diverting funds from that, for example, to the police and whatnot. So I don't know. My own question is just,
From 1 to 3,
how do we know?
I think they can be done without figureheads
Yeah.
or leaders, like representatives from the
Okay.
movement.
Yeah.
So
I
when
agree.
it comes to the setting
You
up
can
of
release
independent
protesters.
body or this salary thing, maybe some people can come out and form like a coalition to
Okay.
oversee something like that. But they've never honored the first, the second, or the
Okay.
third one. They're not even showing signs of honoring them. Or they are showing signs, boys.
So that means the protest will have to just go on.
Exactly. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, if they
And,
could just release these protesters, at least we will know, okay, these guys are serious.
And that
if
they are releasing the
could,
protesters because the fellow protesters are, calling their lawyers and all that to do such. It's not that they're releasing them.
Oh.
via-
Exactly.
Yes,
To
they
build
are
them
not
up.
the one releasing
Pro bono.
them. It's because lawyers are coming to bail them.
so can you imagine?
Exactly.
Can you imagine that?
So I just want to say
Exactly.
that a protest can go on for as long as it can. I can't remember the country, but I think many years ago, maybe while I was growing up, I was just wondering that do people do this? There was a country that people gathered in the city square
for a year.
and they are going on hunger strike. People were falling
Okay.
and
Was it
dying
the
in that place.
Arab Spring?
Yeah, I think it's
know,
the Arab Spring.
I know the Hong Kong one, which was
The Arab
last
Spring,
day, was
yeah.
about a year.
The
And
whole
people
year,
were
yeah.
Protest for a year.
dying.
Wow.
So
People were dying
Yeah.
from the hunger strike
So,
and they continued. So
I saw
for as
photos on
long-
Twitter of people sleeping on the floor in front of the government house.
Yeah.
Yes, they've been
Alausa.
sleeping since that
I was so-
first day.
Wow.
Wow. So, in my opinion, I think this protest, like Nifemi said, should go on indefinitely, because low key is
But
not
I
just
don't-
about
I don't
answers;
think
it's
we
about
can
the existing
maintain it.
structure.
If you ask me,
I know we can't maintain it, but in my
But
opinion,
you know, one thing I feel that will continue to power it is the online noise is always encouraging the energy.
Yeah.
Which is why now there are now
But it's like that
worries
is
and rumors
getting a
about the
threat
internet
now.
being shut down.
yeah, it's
Yes. I think it's just
Yeah. And
worries of fears or speculations. It's not. Nobody has come to disprove it or to
but it's not far
confirm
fetched.
it.
I mean, other African countries have done
not
it, so it's
far-fetched.
not
Yes,
far-fetched.
even for
Yeah, and
ridiculous reasons.
yeah, and
Because
Nigeria has
maybe
If I
the
mean,
because
he
they want
did
to do exams.
He did an article on how to bypass the internet if it's shut down. Can you quickly run
Ye-
through the ways that people
Ye-
can, if it ever happens in Nigeria?
Yes, so
For those listening in Nigeria.
So yes, it can happen two ways. It's either they shut down access to social media platforms or to some specific platforms, or a total shutdown. So whichever happens, there is a way to go around it. The first one, if some platforms are restricted, you can connect
Like
through
Twitter.
proxy.
Most
Yes,
especially
like Twitter
Twitter.
now, which is like the major push. You can connect through proxy servers or VPNs, like virtual private networks. These ones, they kind of change the location you are in a way, like mask the location you are and present it as if you are in another place. So it hides it encrypts your location, where signal is coming from or where signal is coming to. So you can act as if you are tweeting from the UK or from the US. So then there
Yeah.
are tools, there are apps that can do that with on app stores like Tunnel Bear. Some are paid for and some are free. But we'd advise you go
Yeah.
for the ones that are paid. That those feel more secured. And if in the extreme case there is like a total lockdown, well, I'll panic, but there's still a way around it. Yeah, so there was this thing that is
That's good
done.
news.
Yes, it's good news that there was this thing that was done when cyber cafes were still a thing in Nigeria, and that is dial-up connection. That it helps you to connect to internet, to other networking, other internet, local internet areas by dialing from your local number too. Then you just be charged for like call rate. But we're not sure if there are any numbers available now, dial-up numbers available for Nigerian, but I'm sure we have tech geeks in Nigeria. We can find the ones from probably Cameroon, from Sierra Leone, from surrounding countries
Yeah.
that we can connect to. And again, you can use decentralized channels, those that use decentralized channels like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and AirDrop, which is for iPhone, Apple devices. That too can download the app from there's one is like trusted Bridgify. You can download that one. It helps you communicate through Bluetooth. So yeah, so there's act to everything. But we are hoping that it does not happen. Because since I heard about
Yeah,
it,
that's it too. We hope it doesn't happen.
like,
For me, I personally
because I've
think they
always
can only do
wondered
social
what
media.
people in Egypt, you said?
I say personally, I just feel they can only shut down social media because the internet will affect different sectors.
Then VPNs will work for that.
Sorry?
No, go on.
Yeah, so
Go on,
I'm
what
saying
you're
like
saying.
if they shut down the internet, like the whole internet, it will affect different sectors like of the economy. I don't know if they want that, if they are ready to risk that for the protest. But I feel maybe the highest they can do is shut down social media. That's what I think.
Like
yeah,
Twitter, Instagram, and all
Facebook,
that.
WhatsApp.
And then
we'll
VPNs
find
will work
our
for
way
that one.
around it.
Yeah,
That was
VPNs
what
like Tunnel
happened, I
Bear and
think.
the Turbo VPN will work for that.
definitely.
I think maybe 2018 in Egypt, that was the first thing they did. They first of all shut down some platforms, and when they saw that people were bypassing it, they shut down everything. But I don't know if Nigeria has that mind. I'm hoping they don't. Seriously, I can't imagine
That they
not
don't.
having internet. So
Yeah.
we are hoping.
Anyway, we're living in interesting times.
Right?
Interesting times where
Anything can happen.
social media activism is translating to the real world. So it's a great time to be alive, and I'm happy to be
Seriously.
in this
We'll tell our
generation.
children about it.
And
We
of
were in the
course,
forefront.
it's been exactly, and it's been wonderful to see, especially the tech community, because they are one of the most affected, because many of us are freelancers, we work from home, everybody, and there are accusations that we're Yahoo boys because we don't do conventional jobs. So it's been nice to see
Yes.
how the tech community has rallied around it, and of course every other person that is concerned, and every group that is even joining the Feminist Coalition, everything. So it's just an amazing time, and we
Even
hope
our
that
parents, even the boomers are joining us too, because they
They
are seeing
better
it from
come
our
around.
point of view.
exactly.
They are seeing things. I was convincing my
Exactly.
parents few days ago and telling them how things are going. Like, it's not just blue collar and white collar jobs now. There's not something in between that you can't even trace, and
Yeah.
it's even bringing more money than all those ones. So you can't say people can be earning because you were not earning like this at your age. So that is what is causing the
Exactly.
profiling, and we just have to make people
Exactly.
understand that.
Yeah, so it's a good time. It's a good time. I mean, again, it's not everybody can be on the street protesting. The whole of Nigeria cannot be. So, but there's different ways to protest. You can protest on the streets. You can amplify on social media. You can contribute money. you can educate the boomers and educate everybody around you why this is important. So it's just an amazing time, and it's cool. It's really good. Yeah. And I don't know if anybody has any other thing to add.
So yeah, there have been reports about a popular anonymous, a popular hacking group. They call themselves Anonymous. They said they've hacked some Nigerian government websites, and I think they've hacked into the SARS database. Reportedly hacked into the SARS database, and they are demanding that the government meets the demands of the protesters
in 72 hours.
Yeah, in 72 hours, or else everything will be made public. Or
that would be interesting.
To be sincere, I'm looking forward to that.
Evil laugh.
I'm looking forward to that, seriously.
Me too. Heritage, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I wanted to say, may the souls that left or got killed during this period, may they rest in peace, and our thoughts and prayers with the families.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's true.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Thoughts and prayers with the families.
Yeah.
And one of the demands is for compensation. Of course, compensation cannot bring people back from the dead, but it will show goodwill from the government if that is. That is.
Yes. And I hope
the
course use his results so that those people do not die in vain.
Yeah, I hope so too. Amen. Yeah. So in case you're wondering why we sound different or distant, we are not all recording in the same room. For a while now, of course, when the pandemic started, we were recording remotely, and then we started going back to our studio to record. But because in respect of the protest, we're all staying where we are, and we're recording remotely. So if it sounds like people are talking out of tone, if it sounds like we're talking from a distance, it's because we're recording this remotely, because we just wanted to bring all the information we have to you. And we hope you enjoyed it. And of course, I'm happy to be back. Maybe Nifemi should have introduced me.
Yes, right.
Away for a while.
Welcome
so
back.
I'm happy to be back to the podcast. Thank you. I don't think we're not plugging anything today. The only thing is the links to everything we've talked about will be in the episode notes or description wherever you're listening from. Emmanuel, you can tell them where they can get the podcast if they are listening for the first time.
Yeah, if you're listening to us for the first time, you can get this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Okay, please note that we're no longer on SoundCloud. You can get new episodes on the place I just mentioned, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and several others. So everywhere else you get your podcasts apart from SoundCloud. So don't forget to like, share, and invite your friends to listen to this discussion.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and Nifemi and Heritage, last words.
You can't be in the middle here. You have to either support or be against us. But this is the best time to be for us. So you have to keep supporting. If you can go out to protest, go out to protest. Let's end police brutality to Nigerians. And God bless Nigeria. God bless the millennials and the Gen Zs. I'm so proud of us.
Yeah. Awesome. And Heritage, any last words?
Yeah, if you're going out, be safe.
Yes, be safe.
If you go now, be safe.
Be safe.
Yeah. Amen.
Be safe. Definitely be safe. Definitely. All right. Awesome. It's good to catch up again, and we'll be back by next week. Hopefully, when we're back next week, there will be so much good news and so much progress will have been made. Until then, take care, guys.
Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.